Man, what's good? I was just thinking about something, man, and it's a thing that a lot of people say and a lot of people agree on. They always talking about if it's important to you, you'll make time for it. In a lot of aspects that makes sense, and there's a tricky thing to that as well, because people don't recognize or attempt to understand the inner workings of a busy person. And this is the reason why that's a tricky statement. If you want something, you make time for it, or if it's important to you, you make time for it. With a busy person, a lot of the stuff that they're doing is important to them. And time is made for that. So, with that being the case, how can you be mad at a person who has an overly, what is the great word to say for that? They have a schedule that's an overhaul, pretty much. Like, it's a big schedule. They have to do this, that, and the other. And in most parts, with a busy person, by the time they get through with their day, say for instance, they started, I give them 7 o'clock in the morning. Say for instance, they start at 7 o'clock in the morning. The day usually doesn't end till between 8 and 11 o'clock. And half of the time when they have free time, they don't even realize they have free time because they're trying to plan for the other thing that they have to get started doing. And they're like, well, if it was important to you, you make time. Sometimes other individuals don't respect the fact that this person is really dedicated to making sure that they get everything that they're supposed to get done that day. And that's a big focal point. So other parties, if they're involved with somebody or interested with somebody, doesn't take the initiative to create a space to where they're remembered by the busy person. You're not busy, so you're taking your perspective of how you looking at things because you're not as busy as this person and making it seem like they're supposed to have the same amount of time as you have, in which they don't. But you didn't say, okay, look, I know they're tied up with a lot of stuff. Let me send them a little thing. Let them know I'm thinking about them. In most cases, what other individuals don't realize is as long as you're doing that, they make it important to say something to you throughout the day. Hey, look, I'm almost done with this. I just wanted to let you know, I appreciate you even having a thought of me while I'm working the way that I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So I think that statement, you make time for whatever is important to you, is kind of tricky with people who, when they're focused on business, their mind doesn't switch off to be like somebody else. They're focused on attempting to get everything that needs to be done. And nobody gives them grace about it. Well, if you cared about me enough, you would have did this. If you thought about me enough, you would have made sure that you said something to me. Listen, them folks be so tired. Then they mess around and sit down somewhere and go to sleep and don't even realize they went to sleep. But other people aren't appreciative of an individual who's focused on a bigger goal to create an avenue to where they have more free time, because they're tired of doing all of this unnecessary stuff at this point. That's one of those statements that's tough. And if you're dealing with a busy person, you have to understand, if you want that person, you have to be willing to understand how they operate. Because if you attempted to operate the same way that they operate, you probably stressed out too. Then you'll understand why their focus is all the way gone. But that's just something to think about, because I was looking at this situation. I was like, people never look at it from the other scale. They only look at it from a selfish aspect. I want my time. This person ain't appreciating the fact that I'm showing interest in them. Okay. If they don't say nothing, I ain't gonna say nothing back to them. They're busy. Half the time they ain't got nothing to say to themselves. If you ever noticed a busy person, sometimes people that are close to them have to ask them, have they